I'm sure you've heard about the importance of the self image and how it can literally determine the success in any area of your life. But despite your consistent efforts and countless visualization sessions, you still haven't been able to change yours. My promise by the end of this video is that I will teach you the one mistake that is preventing most people, and probably you, from changing your self image. So let's not waste any more time. Before I tell you the mistake that's preventing you from changing your self image, we need to understand the two sections of changing your self image. So there is the justification section and the visualization section. They're two different things, two different purposes. Both are important to changing your identity and self image. So let me start with the visualization section. Let's say you want to change your self image to someone who goes to the gym more and is fit, right? You want to have a false image of someone who exercises, of basically of a bodybuilder, right? Let's say that. So in the visualization section, what would you do? You would visualize you being jacked, you having your dream physique, you walking around, filling up your shirts, all being strong, feeling healthy, smiling, and going to the gym, eating clean. You would have a mental movie of those specific things. Now, the justification section is what we do in real life to back up what we visualize. It's proof that the mental movie is reality. So that would look like going to the gym, essentially, eating clean, even literally preparing a meal or researching a recipe would help count. It would technically be proof. We need both of those things for our identity to change. If we don't do any, it won't work. And if we do one or the other, it won't work. We need both. If you could only pick one, I would do the justification because it's the real world action which will get you results and then change your self image. But visualization will help you with doing the real justification, which will help with the visualization. Then you get into this nice little cycle where eventually 3 weeks or so you will have the new self image of this what you wanted. In our case, the bodybuilder. So that's how it basically works in a nutshell. So let me tell you the one mistake that's preventing you from changing your self image. That you are doing, which is preventing you from getting changing your self image, is justifying your old self image. It's going back into your old behavior patterns and justifying the self image that you want to change. So me personally, this what happened was I wanted to have a new self image, which I have now of someone who's productive and disciplined. Previously, my previous attempts, which failed, were due to because as soon as I woke up, I would hit snooze and go back to sleep. That is subconsciously reaffirming my mind that I am my old self image who doesn't wake up on time or get any work done. That's our issue. And here's another thing you can utilize to help prevent this, or which is something I like to call wormhole habits. I'm not sure if it exists, but it's something that came up in my own mild mind. So wormhole habits are essentially habits that will allow you to transport yourself from your current self to your desired higher self. But they can also work backwards and transport you from your higher self back to your lower self. So what this looks like was if you want to have the bodybuilder example, a wormhole habit would be hitting a good workout. Now after you hit the workout, you have the pump, you're all tired and sweaty, but you feel good because you've done something that reaffirms the higher self and gives them like a chance to gain control of your subconscious mind. It's proof, it's evidence. But going the opposite way would be eating an unhealthy meal, like a really cheap junk food meal, and then you're reaffirming the diet of someone who's not a bodybuilder, someone who doesn't eat clean. But it can also be work the opposite way, if that makes any sense. So the main issue which you're probably doing right now is literally reaffirming the old self-image. You're using negative wormhole habits. You're doing habits that prove to your brain that you are the person that you don't want to be. And that's the issue. And the way we fix this is simply this is only going to matter in the first couple of weeks in the self image. Is probably the hardest. Is because we're battling with our old subconscious behavior programs while trying to instill the new ones that we want into it. Only solution is it's not there's no simple hack, but only a little thing I can tell you is discipline. That's what you need. You need to be conscious because as soon as the only way we fall into these old habits if we unconsciously fall back into routine, which has been programmed. That's not our fault. It's automatic essentially. That's why the whole thing happens. We fall into old subconscious routines that cause us to do the habits that reaffirm our old self image essentially. So what we need to do is remain conscious throughout the day. This is especially hard because you might things just happen and you'll fall back into things. You could wake up just feeling tired and automatically be in the old subconscious routines that you don't want to be in. My only solution to this, or the best solution to this, is being able to be more conscious or by meditating. Meditation allows us to see what's happening in our mind, and we can literally think and realize if we're in old subconscious routines, so we can consciously take our mind and put new ones in and start doing them. The hardest part about changing the whole self image is essentially doing these new habits while our brain is still trying to pull us to do the old ones. This is probably the hardest part, but eventually it'll get easy and automatic when the new self image settles. So there's no real easy hack for this, and this is honestly pure brute force hard work. This is where all the standard self improvement advice works: discipline, willpower. This is where you need them the most. If you can get through this first 2 weeks essentially, you will be automatic and things will be easy. You won't have to fight as much as now. But when you're in this stage and changing your self image, you need to know this. Your mind will try to slip back into the old ways. You don't want to do it, you won't let it do it. You have to remain focused on what your mind is doing and constantly try to pull it back. Another way to do this is have a schedule. Have the schedule of your higher self, not you, not your current self, but the person you want to become. You want to have a schedule like that and try to follow it as best as you can. That's an indicator to see if you fell into old routines. So what I did was I had a schedule of the higher self that I wanted to become. I would try to follow it. Eventually, within the day, I would realize that I was off the schedule, and then the next day, or as soon as I had another chance to follow the schedule, I would understand and see what I did, where I what time did I start to fall back into old routines, which is recognized by when I did not follow the schedule. So before I've like got before the indication of me falling back into the routines, I put a meditation session there. So that make me more conscious of my old mind and what would happen. So you do things like that. Plan meditation sessions and just try to remain more conscious throughout the day of your actions and everything. And if you repeat that for 2 weeks, 2 weeks should do it for you. If you can keep doing the good habits, trying to stick to the high self schedule with the wormhole habits and everything, your self image will change and you'll be fine. If you want more help for this and want to learn more, there's a link in the description. I have a full course and guide on this. We'll teach you everything you need to know, everything we talk about today, wormhole habits, all these schedules, things for the self image in far more detail than I can do in a YouTube video here. So I hope this has helped you because it should. And you can and here's one more thing. You need to trust yourself that you can change your self image. Have this hope inside you that you will change it. You will make the 2 weeks. And I promise that you will change it. So that's it for now. Thank you.